Hey guys, what's going on? This is Instructor Calado of Cordão de Ouro, and I just wanted to share with you some of the training that I'm doing today. So I injured my back about 8 months ago, and ever since then I've been trying to rehab my spine back to normal. What I'm going to be doing now is just going over some of the stuff that I do to basically get back my spinal range of motion. I used to have a pretty decent bridge, and now it's kind of fallen off a lot. So the idea is to get it back exactly to where it was, and even stronger than before, so that this kind of thing doesn't happen again. It's going to be a little tough, I'm sure, but yeah, here's the exercises.
So the first movement that I start out with is rotations on the wall. And the reason for that is because I'm eventually going to want to do bridge rotations on the floor, but this is kind of a progression because I kind of need it right now. I'm not really ready to do it on the floor, and a way to get started. So the next exercise is just look backs. It can be very deceptively simple looking, but in fact it can be a little bit tricky. You really want to emphasize your thoracic spine for this exercise, or at least the way that I'm doing it. Most people, when they do their bridges, they really overemphasize their lumbar spine, which was part of the reason that I got my injury. So in this for this exercise, I'm really trying to strengthen and emphasize movement in the thoracic spine. So these wall walks are really great. They're the next exercise, and the reason that I like them so much is because as you're walking down, you're really activating the entire posterior chain. This includes the hamstrings, the glutes, the entire back. Everything's really being worked out and activated at the same time. They can be really difficult, and you don't actually need to walk all the way down to the floor, just down to where it's comfortable for you and where you find it challenging. That's really sufficient for this exercise. My second to last stretch right here is really not a passive stretch. It kind of looks like I'm just leaning on the wall passively, but in reality I'm trying to push my shoulders down towards the floor. Overhead shoulder mobility that I really need for the bridges. Overhead shoulder mobility is probably the main thing that I lost when I stopped training the bridge because of my injury. So this is something that I'm really trying to focus to get back. The last exercise here is everybody's favorite. It's spinal waves, and I really love these because of what they can actually teach you about how you move your body. Sometimes you'll feel clunky doing these, and that a lot of times has to do with a poor neurological connection between your brain and your muscles. So this is a great way of building that relationship, building that connection, and avoiding compensations that will kind of keep you from progressing. My goal for today was to see exactly where I was on my bridge rotations. This is the big thing that I wanted to be able to do, and as you can see, it's a little bit difficult. I thought that I could get some sand, and maybe that would help me out, but really it's a big lack of overhead mobility and something that I need to work on for the future. Overall, this gave me a good indicator of where I was and an idea of what kind of things I needed to work on, which include opening up the chest, the back, and the shoulders more. And the last movement is volta por cima, or volta de lado. And I like this movement a lot because it works a lot of the same muscles as that high bridge rotation, except it's not quite as demanding. There's a little bit more mobility requirements, but it's a fun movement, and it's something that I use as supplementary work to some of my higher bridge training.
All right guys, so I'm back. I had an awesome time on vacation, and I got to do a lot of really awesome things, checking to see where my progress was on my bridge. I got a chance to look at it. It looks okay. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I think what I really need to work on is clear, some of the shoulder, upper body extension, but we'll work on those things little by little. You'll get to see the progress, and I'll share exactly how I get there with you guys. So hopefully you can include those ideas into your own practice. And at some point, I'll also create some tutorials as well that'll be included, that'll, really break down exactly how I do some of the more advanced movements, particularly for Capoeira people, but can be applied anywhere else. So if that's something that you're interested in, subscribe, like, all that fun stuff, and I'll catch you guys next time.